The sixth day of the blessed month of Bashans. Martyrdom of Saint Ishaq al-Dafrawi. On this day, Saint Ishaq al-Dafrawi was martyred. He was born in the city of Dafra, district of Tantum. When he grew up, the angel of the Lord appeared to him in a vision and told him to go to the Tawa, district of Biba, to receive the crown of martyrdom. He instantly went to his parents to bid them farewell. They wept and forbade him from doing that. The angel of the Lord appeared to him again and took him out of the town. When he arrived to Tawa, he professed his faith before the governor, saying, "I believe in the Lord Christ." The governor placed him under guard until he had returned from the city of Nicaeus. It happened when Saint Ishaq was passing by with a soldier, a blind man was sitting on the wayside, asked him to give him sight. He said to him, "Don't say give me, but let it be according to your faith." And then he prayed to the Lord Christ for his sake, and the man was given sight straightway. When the soldier saw that, he believed. When the governor returned, the soldier confessed the Lord Christ before him. He ordered to cut off his head and received the crown of martyrdom. The governor became angry at Saint Ishaq and tormented him severely, then sent him to the city of El-Bahnasa to be tortured there. It happened when he was in the boat, he asked for a drink, and the sailor gave him a little of water, and the man was with one eye. The saint took some of the water and poured it over him, and the man received the sight in his blind eye immediately. When the saint arrived to El-Bahnasa, the governor tortured him severely, but the Lord comforted and healed him, and finally the governor ordered him to be beheaded, and he received the crown of life. Some of the faithful took his body and carried it to his town Dafra and buried him there. Then they built a church after his name. May his intercession be with us. Amen. Departure of Saint Macarius of Alexandria. On this day also of the year 395 AD, the Blessed Father Saint Macarius of Alexandria departed. He was a contemporary of Saint Macarius the Great, or the Senior, the father of the monks, and for this reason he was called Saint Macarius the Junior. He became a monk at one of the monasteries nearby Alexandria. For his asceticism, he became the father and the spiritual guide for all the monk cells in the areas at nearby Alexandria, so he was also called the father of cells. He practiced many worships and possessed many virtues in his ascetic life. Among these practices, he once stayed for 5 days with his thoughts in heaven, occupied with early saints, prophets, angels, apostles, and the Lord Christ, while he was standing sleeping man. After 2 nights, the devils started to scratch his feet, twisting themselves as snakes around his feet. They also showed him fire in his cell. However, with patience, the fire and the phantoms disappeared. On the 5th day, he couldn't control his thoughts with regards to the needs of life. This happened so that he wouldn't become proud of what he had spiritually achieved. He said to himself, "I have remained in the ascetic life for 50 years, and they hadn't been like these 5 days. After he had managed the schools of those who were seeking to be baptized, he lived alone in the year 335 AD in El Natron desert, where he became the abbot of all the monasteries in the desert. It happened that he walked in the desert for several days in unpaved road, and was placing sticks of reed during the way to help him recognize the way to come back. When he wanted to return, he found the devil had removed all the sticks to mislead him. When he became thirsty, God sent him a wild cow, and he drank from its milk until he returned to his self. One day a hyena came to him and pulled his garment. He followed her to her den, and it brought out her 3 young ones. He found that they were all malformed and was amazed from the intelligence of the animal. He prayed and put his hands on them, and they were healed. The hyena disappeared for a while, and she came back with the sheepskin, which he used to sleep on until his departure. At one time, the thoughts of bride disturbed him until he was weary of it. These thoughts invited him to come to Rome to heal the sick there, instead of them suffering the travel to him. He slept in his cell and extended his feet outside the cell and said to his thoughts, "You can travel now if you can." When his thoughts went on disturbing him, he physically tired. The thoughts of bride left him and he rested. Once he went to the monastery of St. Bartholomew in a lame man's garment and stayed there during the 40 days of Lent. No one saw him eating or sitting down. He was making baskets of palm leaves while he was standing. The monk said to St. Bartholomew, "Cast out this man from here, for he is not human." He asked them to be patient until God reveals his story to them. St. Bartholomew inquired of God about him, and God told him that he was St. Macarius of Alexandria. They were all happy to hear that. They welcomed him and received his blessings. When he found that his virtues have been revealed, he returned to his monastery. It happened that it didn't rain for some time in Alexandria, and the patriarch called him. When he arrived to Alexandria, the rain started to fall, and it continued to rain until they asked him to stop it. He prayed, and God stopped it. Emperor Valens exiled him with St. Macarius the Great to one of the islands. They guided its people to the Christian faith, and then they returned to their monasteries. He considered that the virtue that was revealed and became known to everyone was rendered unless. When he heard that someone had a virtue that he didn't have, he practiced this virtue until he mastered it more than him. He completed his life in a good spiritual conduct until he reached a good old age and departed in peace. May his prayers be with us, Amen. Martyrdom of Mother Dolagi and her sons. On this day also, Mother Dolagi and her sons, Soros, Harman, Shantas, Abonofa were martyred. May their prayers be with us, and the glory be to God forever. Amen. Departure of Father Bebnot of El Bandara. On this day also, Father Bebnot, who was from El Bandara, departed. May his prayers be with us, and the glory be to God forever. Amen.